Hello, my name is Tamika Mitchell, and I will be talking about VoIP, or better known as Voice over Internet Protocol. Voice over Internet Protocol originated in about 1995 when hobbyists began to recognize the potential of sending voice data packets over the Internet rather than communicating through standard telephone service. VoIP is defined as a methodology and group of technologies for the delivery of voice communication and multimedia sessions over Internet protocol networks such as the Internet. This concept allowed PC users to avoid long-distance charges, and in 1995, it was the first Internet phone software that appeared.
VoIP architecture. Here we see how VoIP works. From the last lesson, you got some idea about Skype. Now here we'll see the architecture. As you know, VoIP is a cheaper way of communicating over the Internet. Various infrastructures have been developed to increase both the efficiency and effectiveness of both the VoIP systems and the VoIP architecture. Have a look at the image which shows the VoIP architecture. VoIP, or Voice over Internet Protocol, is touted in some circles as the technology of the future. VoIP uses a broadband Internet connection for routing telephone calls, as opposed to conventional switching. This process holds great promise in providing higher efficiency and lower cost for communication consumers. One interesting aspect of the technology is that it doesn't need large-scale infrastructure. It's all about combining the functionality of the Internet and a conventional phone into one single service with minimal software and hardware support. Now let's see how it works. To implement VoIP, we need a high-speed broadband connection, a router, and a VoIP gateway. Instead of a standard telephone line, the router sends the telephone calls over an Internet connection. The VoIP gateway, placed somewhere in direct proximity of the connected Internet, converts the analog signals into a digital format, which are further broken down into smaller chunks called packets, before sending it over the Internet, much like the way the data is transmitted to and from the computer. Now these packets are sent to their final destination, and instructions for bringing back into an understandable form are embedded in them. It then goes through a VoIP gateway, where the packets are reconverted into the original analog format, utilizing a PSTN, or Public Switch Telephone Network, thereby routing the call to the number the caller had dialed, blending old-school technology and high-tech delivery into a seamless and instantaneous way. With the use of this VoIP technology, we can make phone calls using IP phones between two computers. IP phones look like normal standard handsets, but they are equipped with an RJ45 Ethernet connector in place of the common RJ11 connectors. These phones come with all the necessary hardware and software preloaded, allowing the user to directly connect to the router, bringing the new user into the cost-effective world of VoIP. PC-to-PC calls are the easiest and most inexpensive way to make use of VoIP technology. There are many companies providing software for free or at reduced cost to encourage consumer experimentation with VoIP. When calling from a PC, all the user may need is a microphone, a suitable sound card, and a reliable Internet connection. The service itself may be free of cost in many cases. The only fee the end user may have is the monthly fee for the Internet service provider, and nothing additional for the actual calls that are made. The biggest advantage of VoIP is that customers can make calls from anywhere in the world where a broadband Internet connection is available. The customers can take their IP phones with them on national and international trips and can still manage to access what is essentially an individual's domestic phone line. VoIP is still in its infancy. While it holds great promise, it has some major technical hurdles to jump, such as emergency calling and the need for uninterruptible power sources. such as a PC battery backup. However, as VoIP is set to become more widely available, let's hope there will be reliable solutions in place for the existing problems in the coming years. And who knows, in another 5 years we may have VoIP system sans a router, and the VoIP service being more common than conventional phone networks that we rely on so heavily today.
Here are a few tips on how to use your Voice over Internet protocol. Number 1, figure out which 3 categories of callers you fall into: ATA, IP phones, or computer to computer. 2, adapt an ATA or analog telephone adapter. This is the most common way of using Voice over Internet protocol. The adapter allows you to hook up the phone to your internet connection, and the ATA turns the normal analog signal that your average home phone sends into digital signals that can be sent over the internet. And last but not least, convert with IP phones. Several advantages to using Voice over Internet protocol. One happens to be cost. Generally, phone services via Voice over Internet protocol is free, or the costs are less than the equivalent service from traditional sources. 2 is functionality. You can receive incoming calls to your Voice over Internet phone regardless of where you are connected to the network. Therefore, you can take your Voice over Internet protocol phone wherever you can receive incoming calls if you are connected to the internet. And third happens to be mobility. VoIP allows users to travel anywhere in the world and still make and receive phone calls. For example, if a user has a New York City phone number and is traveling in Europe and someone calls the phone number, it will ring in Europe and vice versa. You may be asking yourself, how can Voice over Internet protocol be used to increase the sales for the Vice President of Sales? One would be to expand the sales pipeline. You can talk your way into new markets. Voice over Internet protocol can make it low cost to call virtually anywhere, including internationally. 2 would be to increase outbound sales calls. A non-employee U.S. business took advantage of the one-click dialing feature to increase its telemarketing call volume. In 4 hours, the number of calls made by the telemarketer increased by 400%. 3 would be to cross-sell. While having a prospect on the phone, promote alternative products that are likely to appeal to the customer. And last but not least would be to upsell. During a conversation about Voice over Internet protocol, you can offer the client a quote and a new policy, or discuss discounts for packaging some new policies together. How can Voice over Internet protocol be used to increase market share for the Chief Marketing Officer? The first happens to be Mobile Voice over Internet protocol. Mobile phones are at an all-time high in sales and in usage, and mobile Voice over Internet protocol services are in high demand across the globe. Second is SIP trunking. SIP trunking is a Voice over Internet protocol and streaming media service based on the session initiation protocol by which Internet telephony service providers deliver telephone services and unify communications to customers equipped with SIP-based private branch exchange and unified communications facilities. The data, voice, and video are converged on one line with SIP trunking to only benefit the business. Hardware expenses are decreased, and the company will be able to reap the money-saving benefits. Chief Operating Officer. How can VoIP benefit the Chief Operating Officer? 1 is to provide better customer service by allowing employees to connect to the customer fast and more efficiently. An example would be a company could spread out its customer support personnel on both coasts. This not only increases a company's support hours, it also does this without incurring costly overtime. Another is the auto attendant. A standard hosted voice feature allows you to direct calls to various departments in your organization 24/7. The auto attendant can even handle overflow calls that a receptionist is unable to get to. Here are a few ways on how voice can benefit the Chief Financial Officer. One is offering an expanded wide range of communication solutions. VoIP meets today's business demands, including inexpensive, local, long-distance, international, mobile, fax, voicemail, chat, video conferencing, and instant messaging needs. It is estimated that VoIP technology will reduce a business's traditional telephone bill by half. That's 50% to folks who may need a moment to catch their breath and adjust their glasses. As VoIP uses the internet to place and receive phone calls, a phone number no longer has boundaries. Companies can easily relocate and plug in their VoIP-connected device anywhere in the world, provided there is internet access and still have telephone coverage. VoIP technology allows businesses to apply for local telephone numbers so customers do not incur long-distance fees when placing phone calls to a business. Chief Executive Officer. There are several reasons on how VoIP can benefit the CEO while increasing the company's stock price. The global VoIP services market, including residential and business VoIP services, totaled $63 billion in 2012. That is up 9% from 2011. Due to continued demand for enterprise cloud-based services, hosted VoIP and UC services revenue grew 17% in 2012 from 2011, the most of any segment ever recorded. SIP trunks jumped 83% in 2012 from the previous year, as multi-site businesses adopt SIP trunking for cost savings and flexibility. My name is Tamika Mitchell, and I have just given you a presentation on Voice over Internet Protocol. Researching this subject has made me more interested than I can ever be in Voice over Internet Protocol. I hope that my research and my presentation has given you a few tips on how the benefits of Voice over Internet Protocol is doing in the stock market and customer appreciation and satisfaction. Voice over Internet Protocol is something that I would have never learned about if I had not done this research. I hope that you have learned something, and have a great day.